Hey everyone, it is Brian Kaz here, joined by my friend and business partner, Sean Casey. We have another exciting call for you on this Wednesday marketing webinar. And on this one, it will be basically different techniques, tricks, and methods that you can do to make money as an affiliate. So we actually cover a few different ways and several tricks and stuff for each of those ways too, to make sure you do the stuff right and have the best results possible. And as always, we'll also have plenty of time for Q&A towards the end, so probably like the last third of the call or so we'll have as a Q&A. So if you have any questions related to anything on this call or anything with marketing in general, feel free to ask, and we'll be sure to answer you. If you know, while I'm basically talking, Sean and Sharon will be answering some, and at the very end, they'll basically answer some on the actual chat. Then towards the very end, I'll take some live as well. So pretty much, if you have a question, we can almost guarantee that you will get an answer here. So without further ado, we can get the show on the road. So once again, welcome to another Wednesday Marketing webinar, this one on different techniques and tricks to make money as an affiliate. And again, these calls are every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. If you don't know what that time is by you, that's right now. So hopefully you do know that time. And we'll have either a live training and/or like a Q&A call each time. And if you're here or you're registered for the series, you'll get a reminder each week so you don't forget. But if you can't make one, we'll have the recordings in the members area, usually within a day or less of any of the calls being done, and they'll be in basically the training tab on the left side navigation bar inside of Webfire for you to check out, with the most recent one at the very top. So this one you should see there within a day. The one you see at the very top now would be the one from last week. And as always, we also give cash away on these calls. So if you want a chance to win $100 today, where we'll actually give away $100 at the end of this call, make sure you first join the free Facebook group here at getwebfire.com/FB group. If you're not a member of the group yet, again, it's free. You can click join once you click that link right there. And Sharon will usually approve of you within a couple minutes or less, but make sure you join that right now, because at the very end of the call, you'll have a chance to win 100 if you're a member of that group and follow what we say at the very end, where we'll give you instructions on that. And I just have a quick question for you guys, just for our feedback to help us basically tweak some future trainings and whatnot. And the question that I have, and you can feel free to type in the answer in the chat here, is what's the biggest thing holding you back from growing your business right now? So I'll give you guys maybe like half minute or like a minute to write your response there. So we're just curious to see what you think is holding yourself back from basically growing your business or taking it to the next level. So I'll give you a few moments to respond to that, and then we'll get moving on with the rest of the training. All right, seeing lots of answers popping in already. Give you a few more moments, and again, I appreciate all of you that are taking the time to give an answer there, and we'll definitely review each and every one and see what we can do to help with that. All right, and again, feel free to wrap that up. So if you're still typing, that's perfectly fine. We appreciate that. But we'll move on to our training for this week on affiliate marketing. Now, I know that most of you probably know what affiliate marketing is, but I know there might be a few that might not. So even though I know most of you do, for the few of you that might not, I want to briefly cover what that is. It'll only take like a minute, and then we can go on from there. So affiliate marketing is where you get paid when you refer someone to an affiliate link, and they end up buying something after clicking your link to another store or site. So you might be an affiliate for, let's say, Amazon or a certain product, and when someone clicks your link and buys off that site, you get paid a cut of that sale. So you don't have to have any products or anything of your own. You can find hundreds of thousands of products that you can be an affiliate for by searching through sites like clickbank.com, which is probably the best known one for digital products. And there's CJ.com, Linkshare.com, and Amazon.com, and those last few are mostly for physical products, with a few exceptions of also having some digital ones as well. And there's lots of others too. That's just a handful of the main ones. Or you can also simply go to Google, type in a product or niche that you're interested in, followed by the word affiliate, and you'll tend to get lots of private places sign up as an affiliate for them. So if you don't find anything of interest in any of those sites, or if you want to find some private programs that you can sign up for, just basically type in any niche or product that you're interested in, followed by a keyword like affiliate or anything like that, and you'll tend to find a handful available that you can find within a matter of minutes. So now that we have that squared away, we can move on to a few different methods that you can do as an affiliate. And I'll give, again, some tips and tricks for each of the methods as well. And I think you guys will especially like the third one because it's not really talked about, but it's incredibly effective. So again, the overview for today is we'll basically talk about tips and methods for affiliate marketing, followed by the Q&A, followed by the cash giveaway. So again, any questions, feel free to type those in. So method number one is probably the one that you are most familiar with when it comes to being an affiliate, and that's writing affiliate review sites or making affiliate blog posts. So you can quickly and easily create affiliate review sites or blog posts where you review various products. Blogger.com is a great free blogging service for you to start out, but you can use any platform that you like. So don't be too worried about what the best platform is or anything like that. It's kind of like asking, if you have to drive to the store, it's like asking which model car is the best to get you to the store. I mean, pretty much, and they all work, they all get you to the store, so don't really worry about the finer details of that, especially to start with. Again, Blogger.com is owned by Google, it's free, it's very easy to use, so I recommend that if you're like brand new and you're clueless and you've never made a site or anything like that. But of course, stuff like WordPress and all that is perfectly great too, and they have a lot of options there. It's just it might be maybe a little more overwhelming for some that are brand new, but WordPress is a great option if you made WordPress sites in the past and know a bit about what you are doing. But pretty much anything you use is fine. Now, the next question I oftentimes get is, can you have multiple review sites, or should it all be on one, or what's up with that? And it's okay to have multiple reviews on one site for different products, but they should be at least semi-related. For instance, if you want to have one site all about internet marketing products, one all about health, one all about like electronics or gadgets, that's all fine. But if you have like one on internet marketing, and then the next one is a review of a weight loss product, and then the next one is a review of, let's say, a TV. There are a few exceptions where that can work, but oftentimes it will tend to hurt your rankings if it doesn't seem to like follow a pattern or be related to a particular niche. So if you have a site that's all on health and weight loss and stuff, including reviews and stuff on various products related to that, Google is more likely to rank you for the reviews and the blog posts and stuff that you have related to that, because they can clearly see that your site most likely is all about that or whatever niche that you might be in right there. Now, of course, again, there are exceptions, so don't feel like you absolutely have to do that, but that's just one thing to keep in mind. So one of the big things here is doing proper keyword research ahead of time, because it can greatly increase your chances of ranking. You can use Webfire's main keyword tool, or search Google for terms like product review, and see how competitive the terms are. If there's less than 3 exact matched keywords or keyword phrases in the title tags, which typically are the blue links that you see when you do a Google search, then you have a great chance of ranking for that term as long as you use it in the title of your blog post or in the title tag of your web page, and at least once throughout the content as well. And just as two side notes here, when I say look for exact match phrases, if the keyword you're trying to rank for is, let's say it's, I don't know, Osaki Tea 2000 review, you only want to look for the exact phrase side by side, Osaki Tea 2000 review. It's like a type of massage chair, I think. So if it was a term like, review of, Osaki massage chair Tea 2000, that would not count. It's only if the phrases of your term are side by side and show up exactly as your term right there. And you also, as a second note, you don't want to count the actual ads. So if there's usually, at the top of Google, not all the time, but oftentimes the first few sites listed are oftentimes ads, and it will say sponsored ad next to it there. You basically ignore those because they don't follow the normal rules of rankings, because people are paying to have that there. So don't even bother with looking or basically counting any words in those. So you only look at the ones that are organically ranked. And if, let's say, the first time you go through and you really want to be a affiliate of a certain product, but you find that, hey, for the product name followed by review, let's say out of 10 page one sites, let's say 7 have the exact phrase, or 5 have the exact phrase in the title tag. Doesn't mean you can't rank for it. It just means it will be not as easy. And what I tend to do then is, if I really like the product, I'll look for other similar review type terms. Like instead of product review, you could do product review 2017, then search for that. Or review of product and search for that. Now, some of those will get a lot less searches, but it's oftentimes better to be like number 1 for a phrase that searched less than like on page 5 for a phrase that searched a lot, because no one really goes past page 1 anyway. You can also, like one way to get to have even less competition is to take like 2 of the larger competitors and do like product 1 versus product 2 review, and have that as basically your title or your keyword phrase that you try to rank for, because a lot less people will target a phrase like that. And yeah, there's less traffic, but they can also be more likely to be people about to buy. So there's less traffic, but it's easier to rank for, and oftentimes the people are more likely to buy. So if you brainstorm even just a handful of review type phrases that you want to search for, go through it until you find one that has less than 3 exact matches on the page 1 results. And what's cool with that is, like, if there's 0 matches, you have an almost guaranteed chance of ranking towards the very top of page 1. If there's less than 3, you still have a very good chance of ranking on page 1. So I sometimes like to shoot for ones that are like super easy, where no one really seems to be competing over the keyword, even if it's not searched nearly as much as one of the main keywords. So as a bonus too, to make it a little bit easier, having the keyword in your URL or the domain name itself can also help a great deal, but it's not always necessary. So like if you have productnamereview.com, that can help, or if you have like mysite.com / product-review in the URL itself as the actual page, that can help. And if you don't know how to do any of that yourself, inside of Webfire we actually have an SEO plugin that can help basically change the URLs of your blog to match the words that are in the title of every blog post or every web page that you have. So that basically would help with that right there. And that can help a decent amount right there, and it's a fairly easy thing to use. You can also spy on other reviews by using the site analysis tool inside of Webfire to see how well optimized other reviews are, to know what you're really up against. Like, if there's a site that's ranked #1 and it's organically ranked, you can kind of see, hey, maybe what am I up against? How optimized is that site? What do I have to do to possibly beat them? For more competitive terms, you might need a handful of relevant backlinks and such, which are basically just any link that links to your review or links to your site on another page, which you can get from forum posts and the alike. So you don't need to get a ton of these. Even just a few relevant ones can really help, especially initially. Now, as a bonus trick, forum posting to target clients can not only help you get more sales, but it can help you get more backlinks at the same time. And there's several lead tools inside of Webfire that can help a ton here. But if you use, like, let's say for instance, we have the real-time lead finder and we have tweet lead finder, you can find guys out there online right now asking questions about certain products, even asking for reviews, asking if anyone's used this or if anyone has an opinion of this or that product. These are guys basically telling you, hey, I'm about to buy right now. I'm thinking of this right now. Do you have advice that could maybe sway me one way or another? And what you can do is, if you give quality feedback first, don't just say, hey, click this link and buy. I mean, you look kind of like a douche then. But if you say, hey, I see you're asking if anyone has used this or what anyone thinks of this. Say, here's a quick pro and con, and then say I actually wrote a full review about that right here if you're interested. And then you give a link, and they think, hey, he's providing quality info because he gave me a quick pro and con right off the bat, or he gave me a little info right off the bat without the need to actually check his site, but he left me a link to his site to get even more info. So people love that. And they think, hey, you probably randomly happened across them asking, so they don't think twice about that. And for a lot of products, you can get a lot of these leads, every week, if not every day in some cases even, and that can help drive a lot of sales and also get backlinks at the same time. You can also, as another trick with another one of the lead tools, you can use the ranked lead finder to find sites that are already ranked on page 1. You can go in and leave a post or a comment in, and you can automatically siphon traffic from page 1 of Google, Yahoo, and Bing without ever having to even be ranked yourself. But again, you leave the same quality, non-spammy post and direct them, back to your review or whatever it is you want right there, and that can work really, really well, and over time drive a lot of traffic. Like, it might not necessarily be thousands of hits overnight, but it adds up. And the key here is that, again, you're not necessarily trying to get a ton of traffic. You're trying to get the targeted traffic. So if someone's asking a certain question, or people are searching for and happening upon a certain site that you can leave a post, comment, or reply on, and you know that they're searching that site and landing on the site because they're interested in the product, that's pretty much as targeted as you're probably going to ever get. So you don't need a ton of those to start making some sales and having that really add up. And keep in mind, the work that you do here for like 5 minutes can last for months, if not years, oftentimes years upon years. So it really has a long-term gain. And writing reviews itself can be easy and effective if you do them right, but a lot of people tend to mess up here. But the formula I use is super simple, and I'll give it to you right here. So first, start with a keyword targeted title that is SEO friendly and catchy. So if, let's say, your phrase is get response review, you could have a title like get response review dash what you need to know, because in that case, you're clearly trying to target the phrase get response review in this case. But the extra part, what you need to know, it sparks the curiosity. It's like, hey, what do I need to know? I definitely want to click through here and find out, what this guy is saying. Versus if you just have get response review by itself, it's not nearly as appealing. Another example is using some of the virtual reality consoles out there. You could do like two of the top ones out there are, I think it's HTC Vive and the Oculus Rift. You can have a review phrase of HTC Vive versus Oculus Rift review, which is an excellent keyword phrase, because it's like, you know, HTC Vive review by itself or Oculus Rift review by itself would probably be fairly competitive, but one like this would be less so. And I wouldn't know offhand how, you know, easy or hard of a term that might be, but this is an example that you can follow right here. So if, let's say, you want to target HTC Vive, you know, review, but you found that was really competitive, like I said in the prior step, you could look for one of their biggest competitors and do a comparison review and target that phrase and have more of a likely chance of ranking. But to make basically the title more appealing, you could add some words like, you know, pros and cons others don't tell you. So again, that makes yours kind of stand out. It makes people more compelled to click through. And just another example of having a phrase that's SEO friendly, but also appealing. Or the last example I have here, if there's a massage chair called the Osaki T2000, you could have it be Osaki T2000 massage chair review dash how it compares to other massage chairs, which sounds much more appealing than just having the first half right there. So again, try to think of phrases that not only give you a chance of ranking, but also are appealing and catchy at the same time, because those will get you more clicks over time, and they'll also help you maintain your rankings and even boost your rankings up, because the more clicks that you get, even if you're on the bottom of page one, over time you tend to move up if you get more clicks than the average person in that spot would get, because Google's trying to see, you know, what are the searchers basically clicking on, what do they really want to find, and if people are more likely to click on yours, they move you up in the rankings more. Then, after you have, of course, the title, you want to have a basic, short summary of what the product is at the start. And this is really like a few sentences or so tops. You don't need to have a page on what the product is, because if someone's looking for a review of a product, hopefully they know roughly what that product is. So you don't really need to waste a lot of time explaining it. And then you can follow that up by mentioning how you reviewed it or used it or whatever you want. Then after that, have a bullet point list of the pros and cons. And if you use a platform like Blogger or WordPress or anything like that, they all have like super easy editors where you can easily add bullet point lists, and you can add basically pros and cons right there and be real. You know, don't have like a million pros and 0 cons. I mean, people usually can see through that, and there's usually always like some kind of downside to almost anything. So be real, and then have a short summary of your conclusion at the very end. And this is usually a couple sentences or so tops. Like, you know, it could be, hey, you know, in spite of a couple cons like this and this, the pros far outweigh it. It's a really awesome deal for the price. So you can't really go wrong, you know, with this here, unless, you know, yada yada yada. Or you don't have to say unless, but it's you know, just have a clear conclusion at the very end where you clearly recommend a certain product to them. Like if you have like, let's say you review you know, a TV, and let's say you think for $1,000 it's the best TV that they could buy. You know, you would basically say that, you know, in this summary, saying, hey, you know, for any TV anywhere near this price range, you don't get, you know, nearly as many pros as this one does, and the cons aren't nearly as bad as others. And unless you want the highest end TV possible, which will cost you several times this price, I recommend you get this. And then after that, have a clear call to action where you basically tell them to click here to get the best deal or latest offer or whatever you want. So like an example would be, you know, click here to grab the cheapest price on the Osaki T2000 massage chair now, and make that link and make that phrase be very obvious, make it stand out, or you'll lose clicks and money. I mean, if you just have a sentence that does not say click here, that people can't really tell is a link, you'll lose like 9 out of 10 people. If you don't say click here, you'll also lose a lot of people, because even though you might know that like blue text probably means a link, a lot of people don't. So if you have it in larger text, you have it say click here, so it's real obvious. You have it be blue and underlined, you have it be bold, it makes it stand out a lot more. Or if you have like an arrow or anything that points it out, it makes it very obvious what that is. And you'll get a lot more clicks as a result of that as well. And of course, to also be compliant and stuff like that, there's a lot of countries require you to basically disclose that you're like an affiliate and that you can make some dough off that. So usually it's not a big deal to somewhere on the page to basically point out that you are an affiliate of that, but you review this, and even if you have that at like the bottom of the post or anything like that, you'd be fine right there. So don't overthink that, and don't try to hide the fact that you're an affiliate, because usually it doesn't matter as long as you give an honest review of the product. If everything you say is like super hypey and great, and you say there's nothing wrong when there's a lot of obvious stuff that's wrong, that tends not to work nearly as well. People can usually see through all that. So again, try not to be hypey, just make a quick buck. Be real and give honest feedback, as that's what people are looking for. People can tell when there's a review that's not really honest. And if you give an honest one, that tends to stand out, and it tends to get you more sales in the long run there. In fact, it kind of reminds me, I think in the past year, I remember hearing a story about there was like a Girl Scout, and they sell basically Girl Scout basically cookies and stuff each year. For those that aren't in the U.S., you might not have that. But there was a girl that like broke. I don't know if she broke actual records, but I know she sold like a ton of cookies, like an absolute ton. And what she basically did, she had a website where she gave honest reviews of all the cookies, including saying which ones she thought tasted like crap and which ones she thought tasted really good. Where what a lot of people do is they don't want to say, hey, this one tastes like crap here, because they'll be afraid that they might lose a few sales. But when people see that, hey, she said this one tastes like crap, but she's saying this one right here is really awesome and amazing, you're far more likely to trust her when she's saying this is absolutely amazing. And they found out that she actually got a ton of sales because people liked basically the honesty that she had. And with that, as a bonus trick too, instead of writing a review, you can also target questions with basically answers that people typically might have on a product as a way to attract even more visitors, and you can then lead them to your review, or just have a call to action to grab the best deal on the product. So using the prior examples for the Oculus Rift, which is a VR headset, you could target a keyword phrase like, can you do full room VR with the Oculus Rift? It's a question that, if anyone was researching VR, they would know what full room means, and they might be curious if the Oculus Rift does that. And a lot of people will tend not to try to actually target longer phrases like that, despite how a lot of people search for a phrase like that. And if they're searching for that phrase, they're probably greatly considering buying that. So if they find out that it does or is possible, you'll probably make that sale pretty quickly. Whereas if it does not, you could maybe guide them to one that does, through your affiliate link, of course. Or using the GetResponse example, you could target a question like, can you import your list into GetResponse, which is an autoresponder. And again, these aren't complicated answers at all. You want to say a bit more than yes or no, like you can say yes, but you have to go here and click here, and then there's an approval process, but as long as it seems like a legit list, you can. And that's the only answer that guys are basically looking for. And they might be, in a lot of these cases, they might be considering buying, but they want to first see if you can import before they actually sign up. So if you have your affiliate link where they can sign up, or you have a review that you want to drive them to, that's a great way at the end of your post there to drive them wherever you want. Or for the massage chair example, you could target a keyword like, what massage chairs feel like a real massage? Now, again, there's less searches for a phrase like that, but someone searching for that, certainly is probably in the market for a higher end massage chair, which can go for thousands and thousands of dollars. And it's a phrase that not a lot of people will try to actually rank for. And if you have, just a handful of questions and stuff up with short answers, over time you can drive a lot of highly targeted traffic that you can then monetize through your affiliate links and such. So method number 2 is very similar to what we just talked about, but with a twist, and it's affiliate review and info videos. So you can literally almost replicate the exact same processes that you just learned, but with making videos instead. Even like the setup of how you write them would be the same. Like again, like having a summary, pros and cons, a conclusion and a call to action. The setup is almost the exact same, but making a video instead provides you the chance not only to rank on Google, but to also rank on YouTube and such too. And although most of the rules are very similar between a site and a video, there are a few key things that you want to make sure that you do. Just like before, you want an SEO-friendly and catchy titles for your videos. You also, though, want to use the relevant keyword terms in your description of the video as well here. And when you submit a video on YouTube, or if you submit it through the Video Firestorm tool inside of Webfire, you'll see a box where you can type in a description and all that right there. So you want to make sure that you target the keyword at least a little bit in there. You also want to make sure that you link to your blog review or redirect through a nice looking link as well. So you don't want to have like a long, ugly affiliate link there because it just looks obvious and bad. You could have like a redirect like yourdomain.com/product. Now, oftentimes I get asked, can you use affiliate links on YouTube? And a lot of people say no. That's actually not true. You actually can. However, the rule that they have is that you have to disclose that. So that basically means you can't have a link and pretend like it's not an affiliate link. So in the description, you could say like, hey, this is an affiliate link. You get paid a few bucks or so off of it. Just a little term just to make it basically obvious that you make money off that if they click and buy. Or if you want to avoid that whole thing as a whole, you can just send them to your site or your review for like a full list of pros and cons instead of a shortened one. And then you kind of avoid a bit more of that right there. You also want to make sure that typically you want to make the video kind of on the short side. Usually under 5 minutes, I think is more ideal. Reason being is, how many of you, if you're searching for an actual answer, how many of you want to watch like a half-hour video? Probably not a lot of you. In the case if you're looking for like a short answer to a simple question like what's your experience with this product, or what are the pros and cons, or or has anyone used it and had a good experience? You're looking for people that give like a quick summary of what their experience was, or what their thoughts are, or what their pros and cons list are. So you want to make it kind of on the short side. And you also want to, again, use relevant keyword tags. So when you submit a video, either on YouTube or through Video Firestorm and Webfire, it will ask you for keyword tags. Those are keywords that you ideally want to try to rank for. And you can basically type in a few separated by a comma there. And I encourage you, if you missed one of our prior videos, we had one on marketing tricks, I think a few weeks back or so, where I showed off a YouTube trick where you can have your video show up as a recommended video on the back of some popular videos that aren't yours, that are getting lots and lots of traffic, even like millions of hits or views. And again, I'll encourage you to kind of watch that to see how that is done as as a whole. But basically, you go to YouTube, you basically type in any keyword phrase that you want to show up for, and then on page 1, you pick like maybe 2 or so videos that are either ranked at the very top or have a lot of views, and then if you search for the source code, usually inside of like a browser, you go to edit and then like view or view page source. You want to type in the you want to look for the phrase keyword. So if you do like edit find and then basically type in keyword, you'll see in the code it will say like keyword, and then it will give a list of keywords that they're trying to basically rank for. And then if you copy that list down and paste some of those words into your own video tags for basically keyword tags, you'll have a greater chance of showing up on the back end of any of those videos. So like if you've ever watched a video on YouTube, at the very end you'll see that it like recommends other videos for you to watch. That's a trick to have your own one show up right there. And again, we actually walked through the entire process live on one of the prior calls. I think it was one that was like marketing tricks was in the title. So if you go to the training and search that, you should see that one right there. Kind of walks you through that whole thing. That's a cool trick right there that can work great too. Now, as far as what kind of videos these should be, you can do PowerPoint screen recording. You can just record yourself, or you can use Webfire's video Firestorm to make easy slide type videos, much like a PowerPoint, just you don't have to have PowerPoint or anything like that. And that's just a great way to make a video. Don't overthink it, because again, you're not trying to make it be the fanciest video possible. You're just trying to give basically a review and help solve the problem that people have, and that's they're trying to see if they should buy whatever product it might be. And as an added bonus, posting in forums and commenting on blogs while linking to a video sometimes comes off as less spammy as well. So that's an added bonus, and an extra way to drive even more traffic is to find forums and blogs to basically comment on, which again, the Webfire Lead tools can help you do. You also, and this is a big thing that's been like more important in the last 2 years, I'd say, you want to encourage your viewers to subscribe to your channel for more reviews and updates on your reviews, as well as encourage them to comment, to leave their own thoughts or reviews. And the reason why you want to do this is, one, you can build up a list on YouTube when they subscribe to your channel, so anything new that you have, they'll see. And then second, any kind of interaction help ranks your video and gets them seen more as a suggestion. So if you have like a lot of people that are leaving comments or liking your video or anything like that, it tends to help your video get shown to others, as well as that same crowd itself more, because Google basically says, hey, this guy is getting a lot of people to interact. They must like his stuff. A lot of guys are subscribing. That's all good. Let's show his stuff more. So that's more important. And again, it's as easy as at the very end saying, hey, if you like this review and you want more, or you want to stay tuned for updates as I do more reviews in the future on this, feel free to subscribe now, and I appreciate any likes or comments that you guys have on what you thought too. It can be as simple as that. So moving on to method 3, and this is a cool one that I think is not really used a ton, but can be extremely effective. And so method 3 is what I call a free or cheap service trick. So this next trick, again, was one of the first ways I made money online, yet it's still rarely used today, despite how effective it can be. And I think it's not used a ton because it requires a little thought and just a little work, but the little work pays off big time. So basically, instead of trying to get someone to click your affiliate link after reading a review or whatever, you can actually offer a free service where you help them with something. The trick is that you help them out with something that would lead them needing to buy something else, often not from you, so it'd be through your affiliate link. But it can work both ways. You can even get them to buy stuff through you if you sell stuff yourself, but because this is a call more about affiliate marketing in this case, you can use it for affiliate marketing or anything that you want. And I'll give a couple examples to make this clear in just a minute. For instance, instead of selling a guide on Forex or stocks or whatever, what it has to do with trading, offer a free or super cheap service to help people with their first trade and make the money off of an affiliate link that you give them for them to sign up for their first trading account. Now, some of these accounts pay hundreds of dollars each. I've even seen one that I think was up to like $500 just for a person to sign up and do their first trade. So with that, instead of trying to sell a service for like a few $100, you can give one for free and make hundreds of dollars off that free lead right there. And people love the service that you do because you're willing to walk them through their first trade. Everyone the first time would probably be super nervous. They don't quite know what they're doing. They're afraid that they won't follow the instructions well. So even if you like help them through that first one, they love you for that. They think there's a ton of value, and especially if it's free, they think, holy crap, this is absolutely awesome. And again, you make your dough off them needing basically a trading account in that case. Or one example that I've used myself really well is instead of doing a review of a diamond selling website, offer a service where you have them answer a few questions on what they're looking for, what their budget is, and so forth, and you find a few perfect diamonds for them, of course, with your affiliate link. This can make you hundreds to even thousands of dollars per sale as an affiliate. So imagine if, and this is key, guys, imagine if there's a guy looking to buy a diamond, like let's say it's a diamond engagement ring, and he doesn't know a ton about it. And keep in mind, if you don't know a ton, like me, you can spend like an hour, research it, and you'll be an expert in almost anything. Like that, which is exactly what I did. And imagine if you're a guy and you're not quite sure, and you're afraid that you might be overpaying, or you're afraid that you might get like a crappy quality diamond. If there's a guy that offers to help you, and he's not even selling you anything, so it's not like he's selling his own diamond, so you have a bit more trust with him versus like the guys that are actually selling it. They're saying, oh sure, I'll help you, and this guy says, hey, let me know what you're looking for. I'll search, a couple of the top sites out there, and I'll give you a link to a few of the top ones I think are the best bang for your buck. That's a pretty hard deal to turn down, especially if it's free. And a service like this literally takes, it took me maybe 2 minutes a person, if that, because basically the main thing I looked at was what was their budget, and what was the style of diamond that they were looking for. Like, was it round? Was it a princess cut? Or or what not? Like, what shape? Essentially, and then based upon that, based upon taking maybe an hour or two at one point just to know a bit about essentially diamonds, within a minute or two, I could do a search on the top diamond selling site or the top two, and I'd pretty much be able to tell almost instantly what 2 or 3 of the best deals were based upon the guy's budget. And then you would write like a simple email back saying, hey, based upon what you said right here, here's 2 or 3 of the top choices I found, and here's why. Like, this one I like because it saves you a bit of dough, and it's a very good quality diamond. Here's one that's the best of the best, even though you won't be able to necessarily tell, but it's within your budget and a little smaller. But here's one that's the largest size, within your budget. Kind of lacks a little bit here and here, but not that bad at all. So you give them a few options, but you break it down and give them simple choices, and they love you for that. They greatly appreciate, and if you do a decent job, they're highly likely to click through and buy one of the recommendations that you give. And keep in mind, the average commission in cases like this could be anywhere from hundreds to even thousands of dollars for a single sale. So definitely worth your time right there, even if it takes you a couple extra minutes or so to to do. And again, you can apply this to anything that you want, and again, you can also find guys out there on forums and blogs and stuff asking these questions. So you don't have to wait for them to find you. You can go out, find them, and answer them through the lead tools or on social media or forums and stuff. Or you can also, on the blog post that you do, you can also mention the free service that you have as well, which is a very enticing way to get people to reach out to you. Or another example is, instead of a course on weight loss, you can offer completely free training, but provide a list of products that they need through your affiliate links, especially with more high-end products and stuff like that. So a cool trick with this is what I call the reverse Fiverr trick. So this is where you can use Fiverr.com, which most of you know is a place where people sell stuff for like $5 basically, and it's all sorts of services and stuff and products and stuff. So what you can do is you can list cheap services in Fiverr.com with the intent of making more money off the back end or recommendations. So you could sell, your Forex or trading stock help on that for $5. Which again seems like a steal of a deal. You can offer a free website analysis for the $5. You can offer to help them find a diamond for $5 or anything like that, which is a super cheap service, and you don't plan on getting rich $4 or $5 at a time. You plan on making most money on the back end off the recommendations that you send. Another trick is that you can also use this for your own paid services as well. So it doesn't just have to be as an affiliate. For instance, instead of selling SEO, you can offer to fix their site for free, but then upsell them into a related paid service of yours, like ongoing SEO work or lead finding or social media management, so on and so forth. And you can also flip this around and do it for any of those for free and sell SEO. So you could do social media management for free initially, and then sell SEO on the back end, or whatever you want right there. It's a great lead grab, and it's a great way to stand out. This is also a super awesome lead grab method, basically, and a way to approach cold traffic that you can find through forums, blogs, social media, or any of Webfire's tools and so forth. Where you see a prospect in need, you offer to help them for free, and your suggestions are what makes you money. So again, people love you for this because, again, you're helping them. You're not really even selling them. You're helping them, and they view it as such, even though, of course, you can make a lot of money on the back end there. And of course, this can even be adapted for super high-end, private, affiliate or referral deals as well. So it doesn't just have to be for like small-time deals. You can do a service where you help guys, find, who might be the best home builder for them, what might be the best private jet for their needs. Where might they be able to find a certain rare antique that they're looking for, or a certain rare car. In fact, I actually had a client in the past that did something like this here for basically helping clients that were looking for like kind of rare antique cars that you can't just walk up to like a dealer and say, hey, I'm looking to buy this, because it's you couldn't probably find it in your hometown, or not necessarily even in your state. So he basically would make these deals where he'd help guys track this down for free, but then he would charge the sellers a fee. And in this case, I forgot offhand exactly what it was, but it was like with the first client he had, which was again completely free for the client, made him thousands and thousands of dollars in profit. And he found the guy 2 rare cars that he was basically looking for, and took a cut of the sale from the seller. And I don't know what it was offhand, but I want to say it was like it was a big amount of money. It was like, I think like $12,000 or $14,000, and that was actual profit of his, like his actual fee right there, just for one, free service essentially from one sale, or one sale of a guy that bought too thin, but you get the idea. And you can apply this to anything that you want. Think outside the box just a little bit. So like I'd encourage you to take like a couple minutes just to think of like what you could possibly do as a free service that would be worthwhile, you know, and would appear like a nice gesture for you to offer for free, but how you can monetize that on the back end. And you know, if you're thinking, well, there's nothing that I'm an expert in, I don't know much, that's kind of BS, because again, you can spend a half hour, you can Google or YouTube whatever you want, and you can be more of an expert than like 99.9% of people out there. And you can be the expert, and you can help other people and do exactly what I say right here. So you know, I'd encourage you at least, you know, in the next day to try to think of like a few different things that you could do here, because this can be a major game changer if you put this into action. So with that, guys, those were the main three methods for making money as an affiliate this time. But I also want to remind you really quick of the free tools that we have. We actually mentioned this for the first time a few weeks back, but there's still some that ask for links. So first of all, you can go to bizfire.com/survey. There's a free tool that if you basically answer a handful of questions about your business, it gives you some suggestions. And then also at the very end of you answering those questions, at the very top you'll see an ad that will have a free sign up for another tool that lets you create like funnels and mind maps to kind of map out, you know, what basically a future business could look like. You can sign up for their free, and then you can log in after you sign up at bizfire.com/members after you take the survey. But to start, just go to bizfire.com/survey right there. And with that, guys, we'll go to the Q&A. So if you have any questions related to this call or anything at all, even just outside this call, feel free to ask. And then after that, we'll do the cash giveaway. And here's how that works. So if you go to getwebfire.com/FB group, it will forward you to the Facebook group. Again, it's free to join, so if you're not already a member, you can join that right now. Just click on join. Sharon will approve you probably within like a minute. And Sharon has a post towards the very top that basically asks what you thought of today's call. And if you leave a comment within that post, we'll pick a random winner in about five minutes time or so, and we'll actually PayPal them $100 cash on the spot today. So if you want to leave any comments there, or if you have any suggestions for future calls or training or anything like that, feel free to leave that there, and try to leave it within the post, not like you know, as a separate post or anything like that, because it makes it much easier to count and see who the winner would be. And we'll do the live drawing in front of you in a few minutes time. And with that, Sean, I know there's been like a lot of questions and stuff. If there's any questions that you've seen or anything like that, feel free to shout those out and we'll try to answer them.
Okay, well, the first and most important thing, because 3 different people have mentioned this today, is please only post 1 time, don't post 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, trying to get more chances to win, because that seems to be an increasing problem, whether it's people accidentally post more than once or people are trying to game the system. Let's not do that and be fair to everybody. So we don't want to have anybody cheating to get free money. We're just doing this to make it fun and give you an additional reason to show up and learn. You're all members, and we're not selling anything here, so we're not trying to trick you into anything, but please, let's play fair, okay? And if you can't play fair, then stay home. All right. Along the way, let's see, we just got a couple of questions that just got posted in. Yaya says, hey, really appreciate webinars and how valuable they are, especially when they're recorded with so much valuable content. All right, so we see. Okay, so Brian, you mentioned something of weight. The question is from Hannah. Any examples of weight loss where you say you can suggest some other things that go with weight loss? What do you mean by other things that go with weight loss training?
For instance, let's say that you're a trainer and you highly recommend a certain kind of exercise machine, and you have training on how best to use that. You could have your affiliate link be for the exercise machine itself, or if you recommend like a supplement for like, you know, weight loss or muscle gain or whatever, you could mention like, you know, you have your free training, but mention how it helps if you also have a supplement like this or like that, and have your affiliate link go to where they can buy exactly that. And of course, you can have more than one recommendation too. So it's not like you have to only recommend, you know, one thing. I mean, there might be several things that could help in the trainings and stuff that you have.
Okay, now somebody else, when you were talking about the providing a service for free like you did for like diamonds, like, hey, I'm going to do some free stuff to help you. Somebody said, gave the example of, so would it be a good idea if I posted up a link that said, hey, I'll donate 100% of my proceeds to a charity like the victims of Hurricane Harvey or whatever, if you use my link to buy stuff. And the problem, of course, with that is, I mean, that's a great gesture if you want to do that, but that doesn't actually make you any money. What Brian was talking more about was something like you post up and say, hey, listen, I'll help you do X. Like, I'll help you set up your autoresponder account when you sign up through the link below for this autoresponder company, which obviously would be your affiliate link, and you do some basic things to help the person get set up, and every month you're going to get paid. So you work for free to help them out, but they get set up and start using the account, and you get your affiliate commission for, you know, months and months and years. Okay? So there we go. All right, and Hannah says she really appreciates the answers to her questions. There we go. And so Stefan asked, can you discuss ideas for fundraising for a nonprofit animal rescue shelter? So what ideas do you have off the top of your head, Brian?
For a nonprofit animal rescue shelter. Well, I mean, like, is there something specific that you're trying to do? Or like, is it like regards to like affiliate marketing, or just basically ideas as a whole of what might work? Like, is your goal to try to get people basically just to donate to you? Is there stuff that you're selling, or what? Like, I probably would need to know a little bit more on what you're attempting to do first.
Right. Well, I think but just in general, if you're trying to raise money, the hardest thing is to break through the crowd of everybody else that wants to raise money, because there are lots and lots of worthy causes. It's usually, if you can, you obviously can just appeal for money. You can run a Facebook page. You can post pictures and interact with people and get them interested in the animals that you're rescuing in the shelter and how you've rescued X amount of animals, and you know, the little Jimmy Dean just got a new home, and isn't this cute, and blah, blah, blah. You do all that to build a following that you can keep going back to again and again on Facebook. But if you're trying to get people to respond, then the best thing you can do is anything you can offer them for money, which is why, you know, raffles and drawings and any of that kind of stuff, or, you know, buy tickets to the fundraiser event where the value that somebody's getting is equal or true or greater than the money they're spending, have a great appeal for people.
Yeah.
So our local animal rescue, which is run by, I think the board is like, most of it in fact lives in my neighborhood, so I see a lot of stuff from them in their posts. You know, they're constantly posting about both, you know, animals that need homes, but also the work that they're doing and how they've rescued these dogs from this terrible situation, and here's the news story about, you know, this terrible person and what they did, and now we've got these dogs and we could really use your help, and we could use anything you can donate, you know, whether it's money or time or supplies or anything else, and they do a good job of creating a relationship with the people that are following them on Facebook, over and above just asking for money.
Yeah, and I'd say too, like I've seen a lot of examples where, you know, especially on Facebook and stuff like that, like, you know, it's one thing to basically give like examples of like the dogs and cats or whatever animals you have, but if you can show like a video of like animals being abused, or like anything kind of on the extreme side to get the crowd like riled up or angry or sad or anything like that, those tend to get shared a lot more. You tend to get like a larger reaction, and they have more of a chance to go viral and such. And when you get a larger exposure like that, of course, you can have a call to action to, you know, donate, or as Sean said, get like some kind of you know, some kind of product or something for free, but make them feel like it's a donation at the same time. So it's like they feel like, hey, if they paid basically their $50, they get something, you know, worth that much or more in value to them to kind of justify the donation in their eyes as well. So any other questions or anything?
I think we got all the questions. If you got any other questions, post them up, but we should have given people time to get posted up in the Facebook group, hopefully only once. Better not be finding people posting more than once now after we made such a big deal out of it. So hopefully we won't see people doing this more than once. And otherwise, let's go pick ourselves a winner and have fun giving away your money.
All right. All right, so here is right here, and this is the post right here where I ideally want you to comment on under. I see there's a handful that left a comment outside of here. I'll count those too, but in the future, really try to get your posts in here because it makes it much easier to account. I see there's a handful that posted outside of it as well. Okay. All right. So, well, I'll count the ones outside first. All right. 1, 2, 3. Plus.
Hey, Liam, you're pending to be able to post. Refresh the page real quick, because you're approved. If you just refresh, you'll be able to post.
I'll give you maybe like 15 seconds or so.
Yeah. Just type Brian is the best in the universe. You can do that in 15 seconds.
All right. So I'll count the ones outside here again, just in case there's. Okay, 3 outside plus. Someone's typing right now, so again, I'll give you like a second to finish or so. Otherwise, it can mess up the count and the drawing. All right, who's ever typing, make it fast. I'll give you 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So 3 plus 49, so 52. So 152. All right, 18. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. All right, Abu Khan, if that's you. You are, yeah.
And come on, say it. And if you look like this.
And if you look like that.
The last 2 weeks, this has not worked out. The look-alike thing.
For the longest time, we'd always have like an actual picture of the winner, and like the last couple times, we'd have like either random background or a shadow like this. So, Abu Khan, if that is your name, you are $100 richer.
And he's already in there, posted up, gave us the PayPal address. He's running the ball.
All right, you are on top of it then. You usually have to tell him to at least post a comment in the chat for sharing to pay. So again, congratulations to Abu Khan for being this week's winner. And again, every week we'll hand out $100 cash to a random winner. And again, every week we have another call Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And again, if you have any topics or any suggestions or anything like that, feel free to ask, and we'll definitely try to get those all into the mix and whatnot. Oh, and yes, and I see Trond, I see you ask a question here. You're asking if we could upload the advice into a document as well instead of just the replay, and we've always actually done that. So I should say on most of these calls, we also have a PDF of the slides available that are posted on the bottom of the replay. The only times we don't do a PDF is if we have sometimes we have a call where it's like all website analysis and stuff, where obviously because that's all that's not on slides, that just be on basically the web browsers and stuff like that. That's the only time that we wouldn't have the slides. But yeah, we have all that actually available for you. So yeah, so that's all good there. It's just under the training tab inside of Webfire. So again, guys, thanks for being on this call with us. And Sean, unless there's anything else that popped up while I was basically talking, we can wrap this up since we're a few minutes past the hour here.
Sorry, I just had to laugh at somebody's post, and you caught me right when I was laughing and had to unmute the microphone. One quick question. Somebody's asking, what's the best way to promote opt-in pages with Facebook? Number one, opt-in, or with Webfire, opt-in pages you can't rank generally because there's nothing on them except this is a really cool thing, you should opt in here, right? So the best way to promote them is either by taking blog content or website content that you rank and then having your opt-in form on those pages, or a big ad that says click here to go get this free thing at the opt-in page, or to use the real-time lead tools and to find people that are going to be interested in already looking for information about what your offer is. And there's a bunch more information like that in the Webfire Training Archives. So thanks everybody for being here, taking action, participating. Appreciate y'all being members, and we wish you a great week. And if you're in the Caribbean or South Florida, hopefully you guys will be okay with this latest hurricane that's going to come blasting through shortly. But the rest of you have an easier time weather-wise probably this week than those poor folks will. So thank you everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks much. Take care.